Video opens with grainy, nostalgic footage of 1970s Iran. Families are seen picnicking, children playing in city squares, and bustling bazaars are full of life. The atmosphere is vibrant and peaceful. For 8 years, an entire generation of Iranians was defined by a conflict they did not start. Before the sirens and the smoke, there was life. In the late 1970s, Iran was a nation caught between ancient traditions and rapid modernization, a land of poets and revolutionaries, of bustling cities and serene landscapes. The streets of Tehran, Isfahan, and Shiraz were filled with the sounds of everyday existence, the chatter of marketplaces, the laughter of children, the promise of a future yet unwritten. Families gathered, dreams were nurtured, and a nation looked ahead, unaware of the storm gathering just beyond its borders. This fragile peace was shattered on September 22, 1980. Without warning, Iraqi forces launched a full-scale invasion, crossing into Iran's western territories. The surprise attack plunged the nation into chaos, transforming tranquil border towns into war zones overnight. The city of Khorramshahr, once a thriving port known as the Bride of the Gulf, became the first major battlefield. Its streets turned into a landscape of rubble and fire. The suddenness of the assault sent a shockwave across the country, and for millions of ordinary Iranians, life would never be the same. The era of innocence was over. The age of resistance had begun. The scene shifts to harrowing raw footage of the war. Young, determined soldiers, many barely out of their teens, are shown in muddy trenches. The visuals depict the grim reality of frontline combat, artillery bombardments, close-quarters fighting, and the desolate, cratered landscapes of the Iran-Iraq border. As the conflict descended into a brutal war of attrition, the front lines became a crucible of sacrifice. Young men from every corner of the nation answered the call to defend their homeland. They faced a technologically superior enemy in the grueling expanse of trench warfare, a hellish stalemate reminiscent of the First World War. Under a sky filled with the constant roar of jets and artillery, they fought for every inch of ground. The battles for cities like Khorramshahr and Abadan became legendary symbols of fierce, unrelenting resistance against overwhelming odds. Simultaneously, the war was carried deep into civilian life. The War of the Cities brought the terror of the front lines to the heart of Iran. Iraqi missile strikes targeted major urban centers, turning homes, schools, and hospitals into targets. Air raid sirens became the soundtrack of daily life, forcing families into shelters as explosions rocked their neighborhoods. This indiscriminate campaign of terror was designed to break the morale of the Iranian people, but it only strengthened their resolve. In the face of shared suffering, a powerful sense of national unity emerged, binding soldiers and civilians together in a common struggle for survival. A black screen appears with white solemn text, 200,000 martyrs. The video transitions to footage from 1988. There are scenes of ceasefire announcements and the slow, difficult return to a semblance of normalcy. This is followed by solemn shots of vast cemeteries, with rows of identical gravestones adorned with portraits of the fallen. We see families and veterans visiting these memorials, placing flowers and praying. After 8 long years of bloodshed, the guns finally fell silent in August 1988, as Iran accepted a UN-brokered ceasefire. The war ended not with a decisive victory, but with a weary, hard-won stalemate. The borders remained largely unchanged, but the human cost was immeasurable. A generation had been lost to the trenches, and the nation was left to grapple with deep physical and emotional scars. The path to reconstruction was long and arduous, as cities were rebuilt from ruins and a society learned to live with the ghosts of its fallen sons. Today, the legacy of the war is etched into the soul of Iran. The martyrs are not forgotten figures of a distant conflict. They are honored as the guardians of the nation's sovereignty. Their portraits line the streets of cities and towns, and their names are enshrined in memorials that serve as permanent reminders of their ultimate sacrifice. For the generations that have come since, these young men represent the price of freedom and the enduring spirit of a nation that refused to break. Their stories of courage and devotion have been woven into the fabric of modern Iranian identity, a somber but powerful inheritance. The final shot is a slow zoom out from a single memorial portrait of a young soldier, which then fades to black. The final text appears on the screen. Their sacrifice became history,